Hello chaps, turn 71, and this is a confusing turn to talk about because there really is a lot going on. Definitely the high point of this turn. There weren't any battles this turn except for me totally eradicating Pelagia with these two Cloud Trapezes. So those two Chads are going to be... They both got heroic defenses, heroic reflexes from this. They both got that, which is pretty nice. Also I killed Njonjo, the transformed giant, with a Mind Hunt. I also lost this guy who was the Tome of Igor Kernhelm. He's the guy who was spamming these corpse constructs, so he's now dead. And he did not use his air gem to summon a small air elemental, because you cannot script for assassinations, because I don't know why, it's just quite annoying. And I found I had pretty good income this turn in terms of gems, because I reconquered a lot of provinces, and I found a well of white water in this province. And I found a labyrinth of skulls here, so that's good. What else happened? Well, I summoned a Hito-Bashira in this province, and I can now train astral air mages here, which is fantastic. What else happened? Well, there's a lot of back and forth, all of those messages. I'm not going to bore you because all that happened was a whole load of PD died, and he moved all of his powerful commanders into Arame, which is odd. I don't really know why he did that. Maybe he's trying to scrape together another proper army with the commanders and some these pygmies that he's starting to train. What he will see this turn is that I'm actually not attacking him right now, though. I'm actually attacking Rus. I have this army here, and I have this army here. Now, the tragic thing, though, is that this army lost its Falvapus caster to a remote attack. Where is it? Mai the Armor Uber, and there's a whole load of these troops were stuck in this province afterwards. So it only killed 8 people, but it was very lucky. Maybe I should give... If I do that trick again, I should give her a cold resistance helmet or something. Except that's not going to be enough. Tell you what, I better... And she can't even... Damn it, she can't even forge a... It would be a fire resistance helmet that she needed anyway. Ugh. Oh well. I'll think about that when I think about it. I need another Thistle Mace. Fel Vapors, I don't really need Fel Vapors, who cares? Although I should be using it to... I could use it to dunk on this stack, actually. That's what I should be doing. I should be doing that. Damn. That's so annoying that the Fel Vapors caster died. Well, I don't need 2 water nature mages over there, so she can go over here. Maybe I can do it later on. Now, this turn, well, I'm planning to invade Rus. I already mentioned that. He has the Father of Winters, and he also has the Queen of Storms in this province. So I am going to target this province with no fewer than 4 Mind Hunts. And they don't have any magic resistance gear on them. So it's very likely that one of them will die, and it's fairly likely that both of them will die to 4 Mind Hunts with 17. One of them has 17 magic resistance, and the other has 18. Let's actually check that. Let's show how he's gearing them right now. So, not exactly well geared. 17 magic resistance, 19 magic resistance, and this guy has the Hand of Destruction, which casts Hand of Death. I really don't quite know why. But, the idea is to one-shot a Dione, but... I think it wouldn't actually quite one-shot one anyway. So, kind of out of luck with that. And I think I just covered everything in this turn. There's a few minor things I could mention, like I'm planning to bring together a few Dione over here and gear them up to push him off this palisades if I can. I think I can't Dominion kill him. I think he has too much Dominion. 10 Dominion here. So, can't really kill him that way, I don't think. Weirdly, he didn't lose any of his globals when I feeble-minded his Pretender God, which is very strange. I wonder why. He must have cast them with someone else. And is there anything else to say? Well, Ermor went AI this turn, so he's doomed. But I can have another look in this province at what Atlantis is going to do to him, so that would be fairly useful. Anything else? Anything else? Well, 260 more people have died in the Bog of Beasts this time. Not that it really matters, because that's a low-income province anyway. And unfortunately, I have higher targets for my mind hunting right now. So that's basically it. I had a decent gold surplus this turn, so I will be able to rebuild these 2 temples next turn when I send in these priests. And I'm also training a bunch of Naminaris. Of course, the ironic thing about making more Naminaris now is that I actually can't upgrade them because I'm using all of my death gems to summon Revenants. So I might have to ease up on the Revenant summoning. I will try to keep it going for now, though, because I just really want this research to ramp up a bit more. 2 turns away from having Enchantment 8. I was originally getting that for Firefend just in case Machaka had it. But he's not really using fire magic that much anyway, and I'm fighting Roos anyway. Ignite Souls, is that useful? Gives everyone Fire Shield. Thunderfend's decent, I suppose. Mists of Deception. This is like Howl, but better, so that's nice. Frostfend, these are all good spells. Thor the Ancient Ones, so I would basically have to... Yeah, I'm not going to cast that. Stone Awakening, what's this? You summon living statues. And a gargoyle and a stone monster. I don't really understand that. I mean, it's only 35 gems, so maybe it's not that expensive. I can cast it, actually, so maybe I might give this a go, because I've got a lot of spare earth gems. I don't think I have this. Oh, I do have these paths, actually, on my Pretender God. While this enchantment is active, fortifications will rise to protect the thrones of heaven from invaders. Any sites in unforted provinces will be protected, blah, blah, blah. Fortress. So this is... I don't really get the point of this. You will claim thrones within friendly dominion automatically. So that's quite strong. But it's not really relevant yet. I'll try casting that later on. What other spells are there? Well, I can have some liches. I can do this, which just seems mean, so I'm not going to do that. Mass Regen, obviously fantastic. Fungal Abomination, pretty good, I think, but I don't really care. My Empowered Naminari can cast it. And Haunted Not really relevant for me. So that's that. That's turn 71. Can't really think of anything else to say about it. Hopefully I'm about to crush Roos, because he is starting to get quite powerful and quite annoying. And hopefully I can defeat him before he does something really nifty with his super competence that he's summoned. And hopefully I continue to grind down Machaka without losing anything in return, and hopefully Pelagia does not return after getting completely annihilated here, although he didn't really bring much that was valuable anyway. So that's turn 71. Toodles. Hello, chaps. It's turn 72, and this was not a terribly eventful turn. I failed to move patrol these chaps onto this fort, so a Buddha has raided it, like I knew would happen. I failed to take this province because I brought too many Koani with me, and they HP routed the Dione, which is basically what I said would happen, but it's better than letting the Dione die to a stack of air elementals, which was the other possibility. So I moved on to this one. I'll storm this castle with everyone this time, because I'm pretty sure it has Baba Yaga the Hag in it, and maybe some other important stuff. High value to kill, and kind of risky to fight as well. These guys, I'm tempted to raid Roos's Palisades here with it, but maybe I should actually be raiding this one. I think I will, just so that I can annoy Machaka. Just so I can sort of keep tabs on Machaka a bit more. And then there's... I'm gearing up these Dione, these 3 Dione up here. Didn't really have very good... it's just a jumble in here, so I've decided to spend another turn forging for them, since since Roos didn't move last turn. I mean, I guess he might destroy these 3 temples, but he also might not, so I don't really care that much. I can just rebuild them. Maybe that's a stupid thing to say, actually. Maybe I should. No, I actually should move them. Ugh. It's just, I just don't like it. I don't like gearing them in different ways now. I think my autism is taking over, and I want to gear them in groups that are exactly the same, which is actually very suboptimal. You want to make sure that at least one of them has the right gear, instead of giving everyone the same stuff. But never mind. So these 2 chaps are geared the same, which soothes me emotionally very, very greatly. Lots of cold and lightning resistance. Well, actually not lots. They only have 15 each, but they're casting Phoenix Pyre, and they have regen from the Blessing, and they have high reinvigoration, and they have decent magic resistance. They should actually have more magic resistance than that, ideally. They should probably be casting Iron Will instead of Body of Flames. There we are. So they will be dumpstering Arnvid and the Queen of Storms, I'm pretty sure. Be nice to remove them from the game. And Roos, I'm just kind of turning up the heat on Roos to try and see what he's doing. So this main army is moving on to a different Cap Circle province, while these 3 Hanyas are going to storm this fort. And if this army moves back, then this army should be in place to fight them with the Hanyas. So that'll be nice. But I doubt he has much in here, so it looks like I'm retaking this fort once again. That's basically all there is to say about Roos this turn. Oh, and also do remember, when you see stuff like this, it's probably exaggerated by this global. As for Machaka, well, a bit of back and forth raiding. Neither of us lost any serious things. It was just PD that died, except for there was actually a. So this is my attacks on Roos that failed. There was a. The Harvester of Sorrows died to some Coanies, which was nice. It's nice to get rid of one of them. I think he'll probably decide now that they're not worth the expense. He has one parked in this province that I'm going to try and mind hunt again. I don't really know why he's doing it, because this is a 2k population province. It's not really very significant. I mean, he's diseased Osama bin Laden. And so yeah, just a kind of boring turn. Pelagia's doing nothing. Roos literally didn't move, and Machaka is just raiding me while trying to bring together some good forces again. I mean, he still has a Dione, which is very annoying. And I'm forging some stuff. My air mages are still on army duty, so I can't forge any good air stuff right now. But maybe next turn when I take this province, this guy will be able to summon another air mage, because we'll have the air gems for it next turn. Death gems, so I cooled it with the revenants. I'm now only going to summon 3 this turn, because I wanted this guy to take one of their skull staffs, and I also wanted to have some more Mound Kings. What are they called? Mound Kings? Yeah, Mound Kings. I just don't have enough of them just to ferry around all the little demons. I don't want the demons to be stacking up in a high-value province like this one, so I need more Mound Kings running around. Same with this one. So this is now down to 117 unrest and up to 61 income, which is nice. Income was definitely quite bad this turn, though, because I rebuilt these 2 temples, and I had to cancel a lot of mage productions this turn just to make sure that I could train these guys, keep on training this guy. I got another of the Astral 2 mages, so we're forging a Crystal Coin here and a Starshine Skullcap here, so he'll be another Mind Hunter or just another high Astral guy. After the next big one, I'll probably switch back to making the small ones, the little guys, and then using them I can maybe turn up with a communion later on in the game. I can already do a communion with the synthetic items, and also with my blood-empowered Mound Kings, although I wouldn't want to use them, but I could do it if I had to for some reason. I'm gearing up these 2 guys to Cloud Trapeze into here. They have some 15 cold resistance and 15 shock resistance. The Father of Winters and the Queen of Storms both survived. They survived all 4 of the Mind Hunts. Somehow the Queen of Storms actually got muted, so she's only Air 3 now. I don't know why or when that happened. It's quite odd. And found another site, the Enchanted Gate, over here. So it's nice to get some more astral gems, I suppose. Pearls. Events. So events were pretty annoying. Just some gold loss and some unrest. Although we got another. That's funny. I put 40 province defense down in here, and now I have. I put down 30. Did I put down 30? I may have actually just put down 20. But anyway, we patrolled out an enemy scout, so he's going to be really baffled at why I had so many province defense, even when I only had 30. But now I have 40 from that event. Very strange. I have to say that Misfortune 2 is usually regarded as free points online, but I think, when I claimed that throne and it went up to Misfortune 1, you really notice the difference. You start getting a lot more good events compared to bad, like only a little bit more bad compared to good events, and it really is an improvement. I think Misfortune 1 is free points, but not Misfortune 2, not at all. That is painful, and it's almost as painful as Misfortune 3 in terms of, it's half as painful as going down to Misfortune 3, but you have to... the step from Misfortune 1 to 2 and from 2 to 3 is equally painful, is what I'm trying to say, in my opinion. So I had some extra mages floating around that are forging stuff, but I can't really show you all the forging that's going on. It's not exactly fascinating anyway. I guess I should make something with my water gems. I literally have no idea what that would be. Frostbrand, why not? They're nice. Atlantis, not attacking me yet. Atlantis is only just... yes, we get to watch Atlantis finish off Ermor, who went AI last turn anyway, but we get to see the final battle. So Atlantis is using living pillars. I like living pillars a lot. A lot of people say that living pillars are bad because they're so expensive and they're so slow, and they actually don't have very good protection on their head. They only have 9 head protection. So then what you and they have terrible defense skill and terrible magic resistance. So what you have is a guy with huge damage, good protection, even with the head, it's good protection, good morale, good HP, but they're slow, they're expensive, they're highly encumbered, and they can get totally screwed over by people repelling them, because repel counts against defense skill, and theirs is garbage. So even with their morale to make up for it, you can still repel these guys pretty easily if you have a length 4 weapon. And then they also have bad magic resistance, so they're just very easy to screw over in a lot of ways. It's like they're expensive and powerful, but then they have these glaring weaknesses that people just will take advantage of. Not in this case, I guess. Anyhow, let's have a look at his gear. So he's putting an Iron Skin helmet on an Earth Mage, which is pointless because an Earth Mage can just cast Iron Skin. So this is a fairly serious waste of gems. It does save you a turn and some fatigue, but no, it's not worth it. Aside from this is a perfectly generic setup. Got some resistances, got some regen and some magic resistance and an AoE attack, so it's a good setup. It's just not ideal. I don't really like that. This guy has a skull staff that must have been looted off the enemy. Hey, the Crown of Despair, that must have been looted off the enemy as well. This guy doesn't have earth boots like it probably should do. I'm just bitching at him now. Hey, this is Mother Hydra, so that's a national hero. That's a national hero with Holy 4 who is just rocking around with no items. I would totally gear her up just to keep her safer. So I guess he didn't feel like putting earth boots on his guys. Don't really need it that much, maybe. Why? Why is he still doing this? He's still going around with no body armor on his Basalt Kings. Is this like a BM? Is he like saying, I can win without even using body armor? Is that it? I don't really get it. I mean, Atlantis is a funny player who... I mean, remember when he built that fortress right in the north in my underwater lake? So we get to see Atlantis' Bless, if we didn't before. So it's Earth, Astral... So he has an Earth 4, Astral 6 Pretender. And this late in the game, he could actually gear up for Wish and stuff like that, which is pretty nice. Or he could teleport in and cast, if it's not an immobile, he could teleport in and cast Master and Slave eventually. I'm just curious as to what bless he went for, so let's see. Are you going to bless these guys, dude? Looks like he actually didn't have a priest here, so we don't get to know what spells he went for. And that's basically turn 72. We killed another of Ur's scouts. So that's all there is to say, really. Pretty pleased about this gem build-up on the air. But see you chaps next time. Hello, chaps. It's turn 73, and there's not much that was fascinating this turn. We cloud trapezed in and killed his Roos's two big guys in Dunster. And they just weren't geared very much. They were just no match for the Dionys, so I won't even show you the battle. We lost a raiding party down here to Mindhunt, and then one of those giants, and then their retreat got cut off by a dragon. So Machaka is raiding me back and forth, including with this were hyena, which is pretty neat. And I'm raiding him back. It's pretty relaxed stuff. Gold is at a record high, gold income, and he's cobbling together some more forces with some pygmies and so on. So Machaka, when I try and take his capital, it's not going to be that easy. I'm sure he'll have some nifty tricks again, but for now I gave him a good whooping, and it's ironic that I never even took this fortress from him, but I don't really need to. And I failed to take this fortress or this fortress, so the battle over here kind of got overwhelmed, but like the territory wasn't held. But the broader picture is that I was able to ignore Machaka a bit, while I can hopefully just destroy Roos. Now Roos has this. He still has some forces in his capital. He's got a Queen of Storms. He's got an Idol of the Sun, and he's got some vampire counts that I killed this turn that are going to respawn there. Then his other force has moved into here in Dofaros, and it's just the stupid mage ball. But these two kings are very well geared. Well, not very well geared, but they're fully geared. They're pretty tanky. So I'm not sure if I'll be... Hey, did my Hanya die? No, she escaped. So I'm gonna assume he attacks this province next. So I've got 3 melee geared Dione, a whole bunch of demons, and I've got Benjiro, who is the spellcaster Dione I mentioned before. And I don't even know if casting Rigor Mortis is a good idea. But hopefully it means all his mages will be unconscious and will fall asleep faster than my guys. Hopefully my Dione will just stay awake longer than his guys stay awake, because they have the Reinvigoration Bless, plus a few more Reinvigoration items in general than his kings. So I think Rigor Mortis will be good overall. If he attacks this province instead, that will be annoying. And in fact, yeah, he's already scripted to retreat. What else is there to say about Roos? Well, not much. The Hanyas took this fortress. We took this fortress with a whole army, Land of Plenty, and... Oh, so he actually attacked me first. I didn't realise that he attacked me on the open field here. I haven't looked through this turn very clearly. So we found a Lightless Lantern in this battle. This looks like his sort of research core. Looks like what he has left over. Like, how many... Can he have more than 80 of these Roosian wizards lying around? And if you look at the adjacent, provinces, he had this one to flee. He actually had 3 different provinces to flee to, which is quite unfortunate. So a fair amount of those fleeing guys will have survived. That's why this province now has loads of Roosian wizards in it. One of the guys that retreated was actually this guy, who I hellbound, and who my Blood 2 Mound King actually got with this guy, with this spell. We've raided this province off Machaka, so it's nice to just have a look at what he's got going on. Hello, Machaka. But yeah, we killed 2 of Roos's temples. It looks like he's still not going to get Dom killed before he gets killed the traditional way. Pelagia still doing nothing. Storming this fort with 1 leftover Dione. Tomokazu is supposed to be coming to this province. I'm sending my Pretender God over to Rus's cap, because this is going to be probably a very hard battle compared to the other ones. If Rus has anything left to pull off, maybe with his Pretender God magic, I don't know. The other force is going to be moving over here. Already have these two provinces, so this one is going to be stormed. This one is being besieged by Periflogos, so I'm going to be taking that back, hopefully, with these two guys. They will definitely win this battle. I had them cast Phoenix Power, just to give them 15 fire resistance against him. And then they'll be in a laboratory province, so they'll be ready to Cloud Trapeze onto the next guys. That about covers it for this turn, really, in terms of the fighting. The other thing to mention is that I called it with the Revenant summoning. I'm only summoning 2 this turn. I think I already said that, didn't I? And I'm making a lot of Lightless Lanterns and Imp Familiars. Research is up to 1180. I'm summoning another Dai Tengu. That's pretty important. So Yoshiyuki is actually staying in this fortress to summon another of his pals, another guy just like him. Doing some mind hunts, forging lots of stuff with nature gems. Same old, same old. And that's really all there is to say. Can't think of what else. I should probably try and sell some of this shit. I've got so much shit lying around. Maybe I should send it to someone. Who do I support in this game? I support Urmor, but he's gone AI. I kind of support Ulm, but I think he's dead. So Atlantis and are both contestants for winning the game. Pelagia is attacking me. Who else is left? Damn, lots of people have died. So Pelagia and Atlantis are both rivals. is a rival because he's strong. That's me. Rus and Machaka I'm trying to kill. Oh yeah, Cetus. Ulm is probably mostly dead, I think. So Cetus is the guy I should be supporting. Let's send some free shit to Cetus. Magic item to Cetus. I mean, I might have to use these in future, but they're just starting to be really annoying. Because I just have them lying around everywhere. Helm of Heroes. You can probably use a Helm of Heroes. And what else might he like to have? Maybe fire. I don't think early age Cetus has fire, though. He could always use a Skull Staff. I don't really feel too pressured on the Skull Staff front. Send magic items to Cetus. I should probably demand that he pays me for these. Yeah, I'll try and get him to pay me for the Skull Staff. Even if it's just some elemental gems. But that's turn 73, nothing else to really report. The pop kill, I'm still losing people. In Norville I lost 650 people this turn. It's very annoying. But it doesn't really matter. Toodles! That's the end of the turn. Hello chaps, hello chaps, hello chaps. It's turn 74. And the game was paused for a whole week, or maybe 2 weeks. It feels like a long time. But we're back, because the bug that allowed you to recruit from forts while they were under siege has been fixed, and so all the multiplayer games have been resumed. So the big story of this turn is really that Rus appears to have gone... He appears to be not doing much, and appears to have kind of given up. That's my takeaway, is I think he's given up. But we'll see. He might still have some nasty things lingering around in certain provinces. We'll definitely find that out. So let's go through the messages first. Still casting crossbreeding, just so I have some patrol chaff, I guess. Arcane probing, didn't find anything. Jumane was a transformed dragon, I think. So, enemy mind hunts managed to kill one of our scouts. We killed Ronove, or Ronove, and I think this may have been... The fact that I targeted loads of... I killed Jumane the transformed dragon on a separate attempt, and then we had some extra mind hunts that failed to find commanders after killing Ronove. So I think Ronove was... It must have been one of those pop-killing Harvesters of Sorrows, or whatever they're called. Unfortunately, we also lost Masatora the Ghost General, and this was This was the national hero who was immortal, and he had some gear. I don't think he had really expensive or special gear. He did have some. And we summoned some more Mound Kings just to cart things around. Then we've got Ferra, like this is just a PD raid over here. This is a PD raid against Rus over here. Oh, and actually we've laid siege to this fortress. Now, because there's this big army of Machakas right here, I'm not actually going to storm the fortress this term. It's just nice to get a little bit of income, I guess, see what's going on in the province in terms of sites, and block him from recruiting, block him from getting much gold, cause a load of unrest. Rus, well, we attacked Rus and managed to kill 47 of our own Kooni with the ranged attacks on our bigger demons, but they don't matter. And I'm going to storm Rus, I think. Am I? No, I'm actually not storming Rus. I'm storming it with a single Mound King to see what's inside it. And he is scripted to retreat, of course. Then also attacked Cynthia. So we reclaimed this province, we kicked him off here, and we kicked him off World's Teeth Mountains, which was here. So the King of Flames went toe-to-toe with 4 of our Dione. I think 2 of these guys are Cloud Trapezing Dione. You've also got the Arm Chopping Dione and a fairly generic Dione here. The other 2 are the guys with Swiftness Boots. And 34 combat speed definitely came in useful in this battle, although these Rusian wizards were not a serious opponents, because, you know, they're just, look at these paths, what do you do with that? They're not communion mages, so they do nothing. This guy already had his arms chopped off, but he still is Fire 5 and has some okay gear. So he's cast Phoenix Pyre, and he's got 3 reinvigoration from this. So here come in the Zoomy guys, and they kill him pretty quickly. And then he Phoenix Pyres back up over here and dies. And this is where the combat speed 34 comes in, because look how fast they zoom in. And then they just instantly zoom over to him here and kill him for the penultimate time, and there he's finally dead. Built up too much fatigue too quickly and died. So we got some decent loot from that. Raided some other provinces. Oh yeah, I tried to besiege this fortress in Wesh. Storm it, I mean. And I think I remember saying that I suspected there would be like soul-slaying astral mages inside. So I would bring the sea trolls to tank the paralyze spam and the soul slay spam. And that's exactly what happened. So when they died, the Dione fled. And he had flying boots. So I think he actually managed to flee on the same time that he got paralyzed. On the same turn that he got paralyzed, which is very weird. His unit graphic went grey, which is what happens when you get paralyzed, I think. But he still fled. Like, it went grey as he zoomed up into the air. So that was kind of weird. But anyway, we know what's inside here. Just some astral mages. I guess I'll storm it with a bunch of little Kooni to kill them. I summoned another Dai Tengu. Forgot to mention that. So obviously, if I lose all of these 3 big air mages that I've summoned, I can't get back up to that large amount of air. The only reason I was able to get up there in the first place is because I bought an air helmet, empowered an Ione, and had a ring of sorcery from the arena. And I won't be able to buy a new air helmet if I lose this one. People will regard me as too strong. I won't be able to get another ring of wizardry, obviously, and I lost it in a very stupid manner. So the only thing I would have is an Air 2 Dione, which is nothing. You can't summon things with that. So maybe I could actually empower him again to... yeah, I could actually... Oh, wait. I'm full of shit. I don't actually need anything. Just one of my empowered Dione can summon a Dai Tengu. It's only Air 2. So I was completely wrong, and everything I just said was retarded. But it's still nice to have more air mages. This guy is a Chad. He should actually be going here. So... that's what happened this turn. Also, the other big thing that happened this turn was assigning a whole load of research items. I'm back to summoning 2 Revenants a turn. Yeah, I don't have any spare Skull Staffs, so I'm only summoning 2 Revenants a turn. But it's still nice. I redistributed loads of research items, loads of lightless lanterns that I forged last turn. So, in fact, I'll forge a lightless lantern under here as well. And so research is now up to 1400. Income is, this is a clear record. If you look at the score graphs, provinces are going up quite nicely recently. Forts are going up. Income is going up really drastically. Gem income is still on a sort of steady upward trend, which is always nice to see. Research, it's curving upwards, but only very slowly. The curve should be steeper, ideally. Dominion actually has apparently decreased recently, which is a surprise. I guess it's because I'm pushing into so many people so far. It's actually kind of reaching its limit against how far it can overawe the other players, but that's still a surprise. That's not the impression that I've got. That it's actually going down since a few turns back? That's strange. And army size, you can see how in this long period of about, this must be about 30 turns here, maybe 20 turns from here to here, the size of our armies actually didn't increase at all. But now it's kind of doubled, or maybe increased by 40%, and it's just zooming up. So everything, the point is, everything is on the up. I also claimed my second throne recently. And another thing that happened was researching Thaumaturgy 6, and I don't know why. I'm not really sure why I researched Thaumaturgy 6, probably just because it's cheap to get number 6. Maybe so that I don't have enough fire gems to get this up reliably, because every global slot is occupied. So none of these spells are particularly amazing. Release Throne Power is a DE spell, and when you cast it on a level 3 throne with your Pretender God present, it gives them unique bonuses per throne. So that's very nice, but this map only has level 2 thrones, and for level 1 and 2 thrones, this spell, Release Throne Power, I think it gives you some experience and some gems and 1,000 gold or something. So it's still worth casting at some point, but it's not really important. Nothing else here really matters either. I guess, no, not casting Foul Air. Syllable of Sleep, no, not important. I don't really see anything here that's important. So with blood, I'm getting blood 7, and that'll allow me to start summoning vampires and really cranking up my blood economy, which I've kind of been neglecting. It'll also allow me to cast Leech. So there have been a few occasions in this game where I've set my blood hunters to retreat, but once they can cast Leech, they don't have to be set to do that anymore, because if they get attacked by a thug who can tank 300 summon imps, well, they're not going to be able to tank Leech. Nothing can really tank Leech, except a giant with a huge amount of HP and HP regen, but, you know, then you just bring more Leech casters, because it has no MR negates on it. So Atlantis still has a big force here, but they're still, I think that's exactly the same force they had last time. I took 3 provinces back off Machaka this turn, but they've brought together these 2 forces. So this force I don't really care about, because it's like, this is kind of contested territory with Rus for now. I'm not really that attached to these lands in a sense. Not yet anyway. I hope to eradicate Rus quite soon. Oh, and the reason I'm saying Rus is kind of probably giving up on the game is I'm pretty sure these 2 stacks are exactly where they were the turn before. So that implies that it's, you know, that he's kind of losing interest, not really trying that hard. The Master Elementalist, that's kind of interesting. I'm going to check. I'm actually going to check to see if, so she can cast Foul Vapors maybe. This just looks like cavalry, but this could be interesting. The Master Elementalist. I should be thinking about that. He might give me a crosspath I don't have. I don't know. It's not like he's going to be able to forge an elemental staff or something. That's another thing I could have done. On these Heir to Dione, I could have given them the air helmet and the Ring of Sorcery and the Earth Boots, and then they would have been able to craft staffs of elemental mastery. And now I can't do that. So the 2 ways to craft it are with air/earth. And I guess I can actually give these guys Earth Boots, Bloodstone, Pebble Skin Suit, and the Air Helmet, and then they can actually forge them. But the Pebble Skin Suit requires Construction 8, I guess Construction 8 is going to be my next stop-off point then. Unless Alteration 8 has something really amazing. Let's have a look at Alteration 8. So this is just a way to be a complete arsehole to everyone. This is nice against shock damage. This is a nice spell when you have lots of earth gems left over. It's got 1000 defense. I used that a lot in the Lanka games. Time stop, kind of useful potentially if you have a really big boy. If you have a really huge communion, you can do that. Will of the Fates, very good. Acid Seas in all underwater provinces. Huh. Wow, so you could actually I could maybe have that as a late game option against Atlantis at some point, but he has extensive land holdings anyway. So I don't think I'd do that. Detonate? Oh my goodness. And it counters Phoenix Pyre as well. That's pretty clever. Boiling Seas. Ouch. Sever Soul. What's the difference between this and Soul Slay? I actually don't know what the difference. So it kills your soul. I don't really understand that. But anyway, I'm not going. It doesn't look like anything hugely crucial. It looks like nice research to have, but nothing crucial. So I'm going to go up to Construction 8, then Conjuration 8, then Alteration, then Evocation. It doesn't really matter. And that's about it for this turn. The only thing to point out is that Rus has kind of some Lion Warriors here. He's got some nice forces here, so he might attack me in Zion. And I'm not actually patrolling in Zion. I am, because I don't have these guys available, because instead I'm taking their water gems off them, and I'm actually going to start summoning some more Sea King's Courts. So with these water gems, it's going to be like, what's that going to be? 34 water gems next turn. You know, that's almost enough for another 45 gem Sea King, so that would be nice. And I'm moving a lot of Dione into this province as well as some miscellaneous people. Also these Astral Mages. I considered doing even more mind hunting, but then I kind of felt a bit, nech. I feel like if I'm going to do that, eventually they will put a Spectre with Astral in the same province as their Harvester of Sorrows and Feeble Mind, my guys. So I'm actually starting to think about using these guys on the field of battle. And I may be able to defeat Machaka and Rus, and certainly Rus, but maybe even Machaka for good without having to use my communions. I might be able to defeat them purely using what's worked so far. But I'm going to move these guys down here, because here is kind of a very safe area right now, and it's more important to move them down towards the enemy a bit. Just for the sake of the future, for future reference, you could say. And I think that's about everything there is to say about this turn. Oh yeah, we have 85 unrest here, so I'm finally recruiting these guys. These other paths aren't really important for me. I already have enough fire and earth and stuff. But having a communion, it's just for the astral, really. That's quite nice. Oddly, this guy got diseased, and he's not old, and it looks like the place has been site searched for death, and it also looks like this message was not in that province. This is Ragadan, and there was no event. So I'm really not sure what actually caused this disease to occur. It's quite strange. And it almost does suggest, I think I actually am going to cast Dark Knowledge on it, because I just don't understand. I mean, he found the gallows here, but I just don't understand how this can happen otherwise, unless there's a higher level. And it's only growth 2 scales here as well. So it looks like there is And I did notice a lot of disease occurring back when I was besieging Hinnom here. So there must actually be a... what's it called? A well of pestilence? Yeah, it must be one of those. So we'll get some more death gems. That'll bring our death gems up to a nice 40 per turn. So see you chaps next time. That's all I have to say for now. Turn 74.